to the stream. How we doing tonight? Let's see here. How's volume? Volume okay? Music not too loud? Alright, so Bitcoin. Been a few days since we've checked this out, so let's kind of see where we left off here. But obviously we've had some selling. Looking at this, you gotta put it into perspective, right? You can't freak out and panic too much. From this original patterns, right? We're up 133%. We give back 19%. It's like, I don't know. Unless you're using extremely high leverage and bought the Pico top, I mean, this shouldn't really hurt you in that much, right? Where I don't think anyone should have been longing these areas, right? You should have been longing these areas, okay? So, I don't know. Just perspective, right? It's not the end of the world here. Just a little fire sale on Bitcoin, okay? You also, if we zoom in here, you also squared up some little local price action here, okay? You see this? Boom. You didn't hit it exactly, but I mean, you see what I'm looking at right here, right? On a different time frame, that probably was exact, right? We're just, using the 12-hour. Only use one at a time. Anyways, that being said, so we have a square up, right? So we can kind of check that off of a list. Now, if you look at this current price action structure here, right? You had this big bearish engulfing candle that happened and that painted a low, right? So we see that low. And then from there, we obviously painted this kind of this hammer doji-ish at the bottom candle here. But basically what I'm looking at is a low on price, a lower low on price, and then a higher low on price, okay? So that right there is our swing failure pattern, okay? So that's a good signal for reversal, especially because it was at an area of critical support, which was also a square up. Not critical support here, but the square up. The critical support is right here. That's where we are right now, excuse me. So you can see right here, this was previous resistance, previous support again. We're now there as resistance at the moment, okay? So what's critical right now is that we get above this and reclaim it as support, right? And then we can have our rally to the upside. So that right now is what we're looking for on Bitcoin. Is it possible that you do have a first rejection here and you just have a partial decline and you square up this local level, which is let's zoom in on it a little bit. Say you let me use a different line tool here. Sorry, didn't click it. Here we go. Okay, so this area right here, 57, right? I wouldn't like it. I would rather us just get above this right now, but there is a possibility that you come back to 57 and make some kind of maybe even local lower time frame double bottom even there, but ideally it just starts to paint higher lows, right? And then when you come over here and back test this, that'll paint another one, right? So we'll have low, higher low, and just start making our way, right? Making higher lows again. So that's the kind of price action that very well could be a possibility here. So that being said, don't allow that to hurt you for this, okay? Now getting below this swing low failure pattern, that would not be good, right? We don't want to see that. So what would that look like would be something like this, okay? We would fail here and then we would also fail here, okay? So that would be just continued bearishness that would probably end up putting us at like 48 or something crazy, right? So we don't want to see that, all right? We need to reclaim basically right here, like 58.4, right? We need to get above 58.4. That would be pretty good. But again, we can see that just quick little square up and then get above 58.4. So don't be shocked if you see that, right? If we start selling off, don't be too alarmed right away. It's not, it would be kind of expected, okay? So and again, it would give us like a double bottom, right? So it's fine. It's not even, you know, anything to worry about, all right? So that's where we are right now in Bitcoin. So let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart next real quick. And we've been looking at this one on a higher time frame here. I don't know if we're on the 3 hour or the daily. I think we've been on the daily here. Okay. So on the daily, on the daily on Bitcoin dominance, again, nothing dramatic really happened. Okay, look, all you did was like double bottom. This is basically, you see what just happened right here? That's exactly what I'm talking about on the USD chart. Okay, USD is right here. Okay, this has been painted right now on the USDT chart. So you just like range bound and you end up squaring up that level. You see what just happened right here? Exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then look, this is basically just like a double bottom, right? It doesn't matter if it's slightly higher low or equal low here, but you know, you're just getting this double bottom. So this hidden bearish divergence that we were looking at here, it just moves to here, but really it shouldn't have changed. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, so this is our hidden bearish divergence right here. Okay, and then we're see, so then we had this rally, and then we range bound, and the bears tried to, you know, push it down again. But look at this, like, it's pretty weak. Again, it's not done yet, it's not confirmed. You know, it wouldn't be that crazy, actually. No, Bitcoin's gonna keep the dominance here because Ethereum is looking so strong that, see, that's about the worst case right there. 4145 square up. That's like your worst case scenario, but I don't even know that it'll give you that. I feel like this double bottom, when we come and check back on this tomorrow, day after, whatever, through the weekend, it's pretty likely that double bottom is going to hold. And at worst case, it's just going to look like this. You're going to tap this and you're going to regain it, and then you're going to go, right? So it's going to be one or the other. That's kind of basically what we just said on the USD. Let's go back to it real quick now. So we just let me get this other tool. We just said there's this little square up down here, right? So again, possible little range bound double bottom, just like that. And then you even could double bottom at the double bottom, right? So this right here is where the Bitcoin dominance chart is. Okay, makes sense to give you that little perspective. So we'll just have to see how that reacts, but that was, you know, kind of interesting correlation between the USDT chart and the Bitcoin dominance chart. So now if we look to ETH, I mean, it sucks that we fell out of this channel, and look, when we fell out of it, that was it, right? That was it. So, but interesting what happened. Look at this old line that we had here, and you fell right onto it as support and have now rallied back up. So again, is it possible that you come back and square that all the way back up? Sure. And if you do get that double bottom, you know, you gotta take that. You gotta take that. That'd be your last chance in. Now, what we don't want to see, of course, would be this one, right? And even more so, failing again, right? This would be just catastrophic. But I am not in camp bear. I am in camp bull right here, okay? I am at best giving the bears this, okay? I'll give the bears that, and we'll build ourselves a neckline here, and we'll come and back test it, and then that's it. We're gone. So if you're a bear, you have one little opportunity if you're lucky, and another small opportunity. That's the story for bears right now. This right here, this back test, of basically 4K holding like that is really, really strong. So let's take a look at how this is looking here on the oscillators. Nothing too crazy happening yet, which is why that would make some sense to do that, right? If you did this, that's where you'll really build some really good structure down here, okay? Zooming in a little bit. Decent, like, bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So that's pretty good on a lower time frame, but on the higher time frame, it seems like you still need a little bit of work. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep following this, but either way, I am not in Team Bear yet. This is just not enough. This is just a simple breakout back test of previous all-time high as support. I mean, there's nothing concerning about this at the moment, okay? So do I still have an Ethereum long position? Yes. So have not shorted the ETH yet. And in fact, these weren't that discernible of swing lows, okay, inside of that channel towards the top of it there. It's more discernible, you know, obviously here was a low, here was a low, here was a slight low. This one is more discernible. I don't know that I, you know, really meh. But this obviously, right? So again, if we're taking this one and we're going to this one, it's still just uptrending, right? So I don't think this is that concerning of a dump out. It was just part of our wave structure. But yeah, we'll just have to keep this in mind. I don't think you have anything to worry about as long as you stay above 4K. This may not ever backtest, right? It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. That's just what I said was like all I'm giving the bears, right? This, if you build some kind of neckline right here that you're already doing and you just stay up here, that may all it, you know, that may all it need to reset and continue, right? That's all it may need. Sorry. Okay, so this channel, I mean, we could leave it there just for whatever, shits and giggles, see if we come and back test it up here somewhere. But ideally, I mean, our targets still remain, you know, 5 to 6K here, basically sweeping the highs again, right? So if we were to even fib this locally, we definitely want to sweep these highs, right? So a good first area of interest, again, 54.4, right? We've had that one marked previously where we had 5K, 54K, and 6K, right? This was basically how we've always had these targets up here. And we had ETH at 60, like just over like 60, 88, right? Those have kind of been our zones this whole time. So going up and testing the first two, you know, on this next rally here, testing the first two and maybe have a partial decline, paint some kind of hidden bearish divergence again before finally getting that third target, right? So that, and again, look, it would be a higher low from the previous, higher low, again, higher low, right? So makes sense still. Nothing has really changed as far as that's concerned. And again, watch, so these targets here, they're coming from structures even behind us, right? So right here we have a 1618, so that correlates with that first target. And then when we zoom out further and we take the entire structure, this top one that we have marked is 60,088. That's that 1618 up there, right? And this 1414, look, 1272 coincides with the bottom two targets, this level here, then you have this level right here, and then lastly up here. Okay, so as I erase this and we zoom back in, sorry, you can see how all those targets kind of have overlapped and there's nothing there, right? Like if we delete this stuff, you can see there's nothing up there, right? So we have to create these target zones out in a blue sky breakout, right? If Ethereum breaks this price again up here, right? If Ethereum breaks the previous high from November 10th, 48.66, right? People are going to get extremely euphoric again right here, right? Right here at this backtest and go area, you're going to have people calling for 20k ETH and stuff like that again, right? You're going to have, they're going to be like, oh, this is following Bitcoin exactly. And again, sure, can it? Yeah, if we just blow past this and backtest this and then just keep going, sure, it's possible. But we don't think that's going to be, likely to happen, because what we're expecting is, something else, right? So completely different. And again, it could happen like up here or here or here, but that's not 20k. That's like 64, 63, right? Our target is 66,088. But so you hit that target and then you sweep the high, and then you see what I mean? It does that kind of crap. So where you hit it in this slightly higher high is how you get that 63 number. But nowhere in that conversation are we anywhere near 20k, right? Yeah, I don't think so. But the talk of it is going to occur right here, is all I'm saying, once we break this previous high. So in my opinion right now, this looks much like this backtest right here looks much stronger than what Bitcoin looks like. So naturally we'll go to our next chart, we always do, ETH BTC, and check on this one. So yeah, look at this. All we did on this chart is moon. We haven't even really dumped like how everything else has been dumping. ETH has been going up against Bitcoin, right? So during that Bitcoin sell-off, ETH gained strength against Bitcoin. And why? Because the last time we looked at it, we painted hidden bullish divergence. There it is. It played out, right? You've hit target one, a target. You hit it again, boom. And all you did before was backtest the previous a target from the pink harmonic, right? We had that marked out, hidden bullish divergence. Now you're backtesting this previous a high as support for the 1, 2, almost third time now. So next, it's very likely that you're gonna find, Ethereum to BTC up in this zone. Okay, so that being said, the way ETH USD looks, right? This is much better than, Bitcoin's barely trying to regain that area, right? Where ETH just like completely engulfed it. So see, ETH didn't even go below it. Like ETH, the one we had marked, right? ETH just held it. So where Bitcoin fell below it, and Bitcoin basically fell here and is now like this, like barely popping out above it. Okay, so ETH is much stronger and ahead of Bitcoin. And on ETH BTC, it's playing out hidden bullish divergence on a high time frame. And look at this, it's barely, it's barely starting, right? Barely starting. Plenty of room to run here. Okay, so you should be long ETH and BTC, but your ETH bag should be bigger. And if you don't even want to have a Bitcoin bag right now and you just want that all in Ethereum, that's cool with me, because you're probably gonna benefit from that. Hold on, excuse me. All right. I hope the volume has been good this whole time. I just kind of took off. Anyways, yeah, somebody want to chime in, just make sure we're good on volume before we get too far along. Okay, so yeah, ETH over Bitcoin over most alts, right? That's kind of the way this is gonna go, because Bitcoin dominance, I'm telling you guys, this is just taking a break here. Okay, this is just a low, and a higher low. Okay, we have not changed any of our viewpoint on targets for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, we still are looking at I think we were here for targets. Too many lines. Okay, here we go. So we're still looking for this for the Bitcoin dominance, right? So if Bitcoin is going to take this out of the market, all right, and get 47 to 49% of the market dominance, and Ethereum is going to outperform it, I mean, that's telling you something, right? So doesn't mean don't have a Bitcoin position, because look at this, right? I mean, you're gonna get some action on Bitcoin for sure too, and they might not pump at the exact same time. They might kind of not counter, but like one may lead the other, right? So you can keep kind of going back and forth from from ETH to Bitcoin, but you're still long. You're just kind of taking partial profits and then moving it over to the one that's lagging and just letting it kind of chase. It's up to you how you want to play it. You gotta be monitoring it more frequently to do that, but it gives you that kind of situation, right, where they're both going to be pumping in the same direction up. Now which one pump first, right? Now the other, the money's going to keep moving back and forth between those two. Okay, so anyways, whatever, moving along. Let's go to total. So total, sorry, going on. Okay, total. This is where we said retail was gonna FOMO in. Remember that? And look what we did, guys. Same thing kind of that ETH did, right? You just came up, you hit two targets, and then you came back down and you back tested what was once previous resistance back on May 13th. Has now been break, hook, and go, guys. There's nothing wrong here, okay? We're going to still continue. The party is not over. People that think the party is over, I don't know. Until I get this one and follow through to the downside, party's not over. This is just a nice little back test, okay? The party will go on. The show will go on. All right, Litecoin. Oh man, look at that. Whoa. Okay, check this out. Massive amount of hidden bullish divergence on Litecoin right now. And on the RSI. So Litecoin number go up, target right there still remains. All right, nothing has changed except some over leveraged people got shaken out, but that's unfortunate, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, from this target you are up 164 from that entry, from this second entry you're up 112, and all you did was give back 30 of it. That sucks, but it only sucks if you longed up here, right? You shouldn't have been opening your position now. Like, that's in the middle of the range. Who buys the middle of the range, right? You don't buy the middle of the range. You buy the range low. So look, if we were one big range, okay? If we were one big range and this was the range high, like see how that B was in the midpoint, right? So that's your midpoint. This is your midpoint. You don't buy in the midpoint. You buy down here at all these lows it gives you at the range low, and you distribute up here at the range high, right? So, okay. Hidden bullish divergence, massive amount. If you're lucky, you get a second entry double bottom, but either way, I'll see you at 350 on LTC. Maker, again, we said if you sell there, you're not going to make it. What's happening here? However you paint it, that's hidden bullish divergence. Okay, hidden bullish divergence on Litecoin, on Maker. I'm pretty sure we had it on ETH. See, so this is what we're talking about. Okay, so as price comes and back tests this area, you rally up. You've now came back down, painted the hidden bullish divergence, At this point, stop can be raised to the previous level, and now we continue up. Once we get up above 3K, okay, once we get maker above 3K and we back test that and, you know, turn that into support and end up rallying up higher, that's when you take your, you know, swing trading long-term position. You could bring it up to the hidden bullish divergence, or you could bring it up to that 3K SR flip. It's up to you. Probably keep it hanging out at the hidden bullish divergence for a little bit until you kind of get up into the golden zone area, being this green box. Okay, this is your golden zone. Once you get back in there, and maybe even, you know, possibly even like back test it, you know, that's the time again you would raise the stop there. Okay, but at the moment, stop can be anywhere in this vicinity, you know, 2200, 2300, 2100. You wouldn't want to lose any of that, right? You wouldn't want to lose any of that, and you know, by doing so you would give up an additional 27%. So really don't want to see that happen, right? But you also don't want to get stopped out having too tight of a stop. And the only reason you should have too tight of a stop, you shouldn't, but would be because you're trading with high leverage. And if you're trading with high leverage and you have too tight of a stop, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably not going to make it anyway. So just stop it. Because again, look, I'm trading spot here. You're following a spot trade and you're using high leverage. Like, you can't cheat and mix and match. You can't. You're cheating patience. You can't cheat patience. Okay. All right, moving along to Inchy. Look at this. Again, guys, this is stuff that, like, we had these lines painted, right? Look at this partial decline was what? Almost 786, and from the entire low to high, it was probably like 618. Yep, just below 618. So back tested that previous kind of neckline area. Now, I mean, next you want to get above the B, right? You want to reclaim the B, which is at $4. That you're basically you're just range bound in between $3.50 and $4, right? So you need to get above $4, and then, you know, maybe you can get above that 475 area. Okay, so inch, just a nice little back test here after you hit, and that's why we take profit, right? 886 bearish bat, X, A, B, C, D, sell off, back test, you know, 61 to 78% of the way back down, reclaim previous resistance areas as support, and run it again, right? Run it again. So yeah, if you were to stop on this, you'd probably be here at this point, 265. And ideally, you know, if you can reclaim this $4 area and start to run away from it, excuse me, at that point you could bring your stop up below to this, you know, 350 area. All right. All right, moving along, we have Ave. Just kind of back tested again, a pretty critical area, right? But if we mark the area at the low, you can see that we painted a slightly higher low. Okay, now again, this thing had already ran to hit the two targets, right? You see that? That's why we take profit, and that's why we have targets set, because you don't know, you could leave for, you know, to go have dinner, and that wick happens, you get 425 and 450, you come back, you know, check your position a few days later and it's all the way back down to 250 and you had 450, right? So this is a trader's market, not an investor's. An investor that invested back in September has given up all his gains and is right back where he started. with his fucking dick in his hand, right? So you gotta have these take profit targets out there, okay? That's why we use our fibs, that's why we use our harmonics, that's why we use take profit rules. And we have, you know, targets 1, targets 2, it may be that moonbag target 3, right? But we don't not take profit. So now if somebody took profit, they can now re-enter a position and run back again and take more profit, okay? So Ave, you're at a pretty good area here. You don't want to lose. Let me mark this area here. You don't want to lose 450 pretty much. 450, yeah, you don't want to lose that. And even if you get a wick through it, it's not the end of the world, right? It's just a matter of you don't want to do this, okay? There's a big difference between those two on that stop loss area, okay? And I know you'd be like, well, wouldn't my stop get hit either way? And it's like, technically yes, but also technically no. I'm not gonna ever tell somebody to not use a stop, but if you're positioned correctly and you have so much of your capital as a buffer in USDT, and you're in just a normal position here, you can withstand a wick through without a stop and without, you know, losing everything, right? Because you would just be down a little bit on one position and you have plenty of capital as a buffer. I don't know, I'm not position trade management is what you would call that, right? Trade management. Even I'm still, you know, attempting to perfect that. That's not what this is about, okay? My specialty is in getting the entries. It's not necessarily managing the trades, right? That's what we're all working on always. That's the mental part of things. We can the technicals, right? The TA, it's a masterable, but the mental part, you could fight that your whole life, right? So the only way we can get away from that is to be robotic, right? We have our entries, we have our targets, we set them, they hit. Stop losses, yeah, it's an interesting predicament. I mean, because these dang hunts, right? Like, we're gonna be up here, and it's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee that we're gonna be up there, but shit you not though, right? Like, we'll so often, more often than not, we do end up reaching our targets. And it was just a matter of how that all played out at the accumulation spot, which is why if you're a spot trader, it's much easier to weather little storms like that than a leverage trader, right? A leverage trader has no chance there. A leverage trader has no chance. Somebody leverage, 10x, 15x, 20x, they're done, right? Those things like that would be catastrophic. So again, that's in my opinion, that's a little bit of a self-inflicting wound by pushing 20x on the leverage, right? Nobody did that but you, so don't do it, right? You can trade spot or 1x, 2x, just the same as 15x or 20x. Just a personal decision based on your level of risk tolerance. Some people are very conservative, some people are extremely aggressive, right? And that's your personal choice. All I'm telling you is how to find entries, how to find targets, right? And yes, there's points of invalidation, but they're based on follow through price action. They're not based on wicks, okay? It's not based on a wick. It's based on follow through price action. Those are two extremely different things. You have to understand that, okay? AVAX pumping. No issues here on this. Look at this. So look where your buy zone was, guys. Jeez. Your buy zone was right here between $9 and $10. You're sitting at $115. Look at this nice double bottom we had here. We broke out, back tested that little neckline, and just gone, right? Absolutely gone. Again, this is like kind of what you're doing on Bitcoin, right? You came up, made this rally, and now you just sold off a little bit, right? It's just a reset, and then you're going to come up and you're going to sweep the highs, partial decline, hidden bullish divergence, and then paint a harmonic, hidden bullish divergence again, or full out bullish divergence, get above this support, right? Break up, break, hook, now you're going partial decline, hidden bullish divergence, hitting all three targets, game over. Good night. Everything tagged. Everything tagged. The full structure. The full structure. From high to the buy zone low. Tagged. Everything hit targets on this. Okay? The only way you lost money on this would be by being in an over leveraged position and getting shaken out on a reset of the oscillators. Shame, shame, shame. I mean, eventually you figure it out, right? You touch fire enough, you like, okay, that's enough of that. I'm done, right? And then you become a spot trader or something, and you then start making way more money than you ever did trading leverage, and you're just like, wait a minute. So it's like, I always say that to people. It's like, the higher the leverage, the less money you make. The lower leverage, the lower the leverage, the more money you make, right? So don't get so infatuated with leverage. Leverage bad in most instances. Okay? All right. So at this point, I mean, this thing is absolutely gone, right? This thing is gone. So is this time to be longing AVE? No, no, it's not. Okay? It's not. Can it still go up? Sure, but there's no edge, right? You've lost your edge against the market. Like, what do you do? What's your edge right there? You're just praying for continuation of absolute blue sky breakout, but you're exceeding all of the targets, right? So there's like nothing. Yeah, there's really nothing, like, complete different structure here, right? What you're looking for is how we were in this buy zone up here, right? So this could be you right now on AVE, right? Like, this could be where you are. Maybe you get a partial decline, you run one more time, and then you get a double top. But this is what AVE's going to do. This is what the whole friggin' market's going to do, right? As soon as we get to like 6K ETH, this is what we're looking at, okay? So keep that in mind as well. This is prime example of how a top would occur and play out, okay? So this is why when we get up in that 6K ETH area, and if we get some kind of double top up there, man, a 6K ETH short could retire a guy. Okay, again, we'll find out when we get there. A little too early to tell, but that's what we're looking for, right? That's the signs. So here, coming back to the top on this, we're looking for similar signs, right? You want to see some kind of double top. It doesn't have to be here. It could happen, you know, much higher, right? It could happen up here, but either way, we're looking for some kind of double top. And then whenever it does happen, if it does happen here, right? Say we get this double top and we come back down, then you're going to start seeing this kind of stuff. The follow through that we're talking about, okay? It's no longer just a wick, but it's a follow through. No longer just a wick, but it keeps following through, right? That's what we would be looking for to confirm the bearish flip on this, right? But right now we don't have that. All we have is the first, just, again, the initial impulse of a harmonic is irrelevant, right? It's more about the first decline and then the rise and then the fall, right? So that's how a harmonic could look, right? But either way, it still ends up giving you that like double top, right? You see? So things like that, right? And again, that's just painting a almost like a Gartley, but it shouldn't be a Gartley. It'll be more like a deep crab, right? It'll be like this. Exactly like that. Might be that. That might be it. No, because our anchor point here is shit. But you see what I was getting at, right? We don't have a decent anchor point on that. This would be much lower. Something like that could happen. But anyways, I digress. Moving along. B&B. Again, you've hit targets. Look what happened. You hit targets. You double topped. You sold off. There it is. Right there. Right there it is. Now, I don't know if this is good for a harmonic, but it looks pretty decent here. Yeah. It's again, it's like that Batley where you have your Gartley D. Again, what would be better is if you got this all the way down here. All the way down here. You might, if Bitcoin and ETH are going to take over the money, and you can get this to, get you back in here, that would be a nice little area for long. But you may not get that. That's why we don't take the C leg, right? Because this could easily come up here and invalidate, okay? So we don't trade the C. But if we get the D, we definitely take the D on the harmonic. The D after the X, A, B, C, D. The D is the completion zone, okay? So do not trade the A, C, B legs. You only trade the D. That's where you take your trades, okay? You gotta be diligent with that, all right? I know a lot of people try, and myself included, will attempt to trade the legs, right? And you gotta wait for the D. So right now, look at this. Hidden bullish divergence again. All the way, once, twice, 3 times on the MACD as we continue to paint higher low, higher low, higher low. That's why I'm saying you don't take that D trade, or the B, next B, C, the C. You don't take the C trade, because this could completely invalidate it, and it's working on it right now. Okay, so that is exactly what you want to see here on BNB. Is you want to reclaim this zone. You might test this. That's not the end of the world, right? But this is what we want to see. And if you can get this, you get 800, okay? So back test of 640 will give you 800. So that's what you're looking for. Doggy. Dog, you're still in this, again, look, this is where we made the initial alert down here, okay? So again, you're just, that swept that wick just slightly, but tweezer bottom reclaimed the critical support line, this previous neckline that we had. See how what I'm talking about, how you wick below it, but immediately you follow through back above it, right? So that's why this would have killed somebody right here. But a spot trader could have weathered that kind of storm. And what's looking like is this downsloping trend line is approaching again, right? So you may see a pop off of this, right? Maybe you backtest it again before running, but you can see a pop here on the Doge approaching, right? Approaching, because again, nothing's really changed. If you zoom out here and you weren't over leveraged, maybe worst case you got stopped in profit. Hopefully you just found yourself a new place to long, which is, look where you are. Like, this is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's just a break, hook, and now go, right? So somebody taking a long here on the Doge. $2.6 to 1 and 3 to 1, right? 3.5 to 1. So nothing's really changed here. And even beyond that, this one is interesting because this one allows you for an extreme moon bag. Okay, like into the 60 to 69 420 area, right? So that's what you should be looking at on Dogecoin. Okay, nothing too alarming, right? Nothing alarming. Link, again, same thing. Stupid wick below, but follow through back above. And again, just you gotta zoom out, right? Low, higher, low, higher, low. All right, so nothing alarming. Nothing crazy here on these 12-hour oscillators, but the daily has hidden bullish divergence. Still plenty of room to run back here to make positive momentum before selling off and maybe rising again, right? So plenty of room to run. RSI touched the bottom here. Again, though, it would be okay to get a double bottom here on the RSI. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe you do it up here. And that kind of paints it, right? But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, where you are right now, above $27, you're, you know, above $28, that's great. Look at this previous, you know, what was once previous resistance on our B leg of the harmonic is now being back tested as support. And this harmonic really isn't even over yet. Aside from the fact that, again, you probably painted the 886. Nope, you exceeded it. So this remains intact. We're heading up here in time. Okay, so 1618, right there, $46. Okay, $46 on Link. Somebody taking a long right here could have a 3-to-1 trade that would look just like this. Okay, stop would be right here below this previous C leg. All right. And you can make this 3-to-1. See that? Too sensitive mouse, but anyways, something like that. Okay, there's your trade on Link. FTT, painting some butterfly. Painting a butterfly, exactly what you just did. So here you go, FTT, butterfly, nothing crazy. RSI, bullish divergence. So possible double bottom again here. That would give you like a larger time frame swing low failure pattern, right? Like on the daily or even the 3-day. Paint some kind of paint some sort of neckline here. It may even already kind of be here. Maybe here. We need more data on that, but you're gonna find some kind of neckline. So you either reject it, create it, paint a higher low, and then break above it and back test it, right? You either create it now, which would then paint the higher low, inverse head and shoulders, then you get that neckline, and that's when you start, you know, regaining all these levels again. Okay, so FTT, we are still looking for our 80 cent or $80, even though this now changed. This blue harmonic is definitely not valid. So we now need to say, okay, if we're painting from here to here, see that $80 is still the 886 though. Okay, so yeah, I think it's still, we can still leave it as our target. And now let's paint it from the low. If this is a butterfly here, the 1414 is also $80. So yeah, $80 remains a target. Nothing changed there. You just got a little different structure. Okay, man, just swept those lows with that wick. But look, again, it was just a wick and then follow through price action to the upside, right? What we wouldn't have wanted to see is that wick back tested this area, right? This previous, gosh, I can't draw a line like that. That's what we didn't want, okay? Is this wick to have done this, right? But it didn't. It's doing the opposite of that, right? So we're still okay for $80. Shiba, man, you know what this ended up doing? Crazy. Okay, so we talked about this. We said this is how this has been painted, okay, this whole time. And we said we did hit our long entry area, we barely touched it. And we were talking about this. Go back in the streams every time on Shiba. We said it is possible, especially if we reject this area that we had marked, and we rejected it twice, that we can get back in here and officially paint the cipher, or the basically our Batley, right, where we have a 50% on the B, but we get the 786 on the D. So now look at this D. Did we get the 786? Look at that. 786. There it is. So this is absolutely confirmation double bottom long entry area stuff. Okay, so can you get a double bottom of the double bottom? Absolutely. You can sell off right here, do it again, maybe you even go a little deeper into this zone. Okay, this would not be unheard of. Ultimately get above here and then rally, and we'll get 7,500 sats and then 8,800 sats. Okay, so this bullish Batley is even more alive than ever before. Okay, so again, we want to reclaim this area, okay, for continuation. Break through it, back test it as support, and then continue on up. All right, is it okay if we get this double bottom like this? Sure. Okay, either way, Shiba number go up. ICP, exactly what Shiba did. Look, here's Shiba coming in. You're right here on Shiba. You rally back into it a little deeper, and then you go, right? Man, I love when the next chart shows you exactly what you're looking for on the previous one, right? So here's the buy zone. You're still in it. Stop remains the stop. You did not hit the stop. You did not breach the D low. In fact, you now again painted that exactly what we're talking about here, right? So geez, that's a horrible looking curve. Okay, so you could paint, it's either one. So you got a double bottom here, so you could paint them both. So you got this double bottom, but right here you got this higher time frame, swing low failure, inverse head and shoulders esque price action structure with, I mean, you could even lower this if you want to be conservative about it. Either way, you don't want to get, you need to get back above it and, you know, turn it into support, right? Turn it into support. That's just being more conservative, but you're looking good. ICP target remains 77, 80 and 86. This is a full on from the buy zone right here. Don't target 1, stop should be below X. 2 to 1 on your money. Target 2, stop below X, and 2.73 to 1 on your money. So I'm like that, right? 2.73. Let me lower it just a little bit. 2.68 and 2 to 1 on your money. There's your trade on ICP. Okay. And that's even, you know, you could have got this, of course, a little better if you already, you know, if you already purchased, right? That's definitely giving you more of that 3 to 1, which the buy zone 886, or excuse me, 786 would have given you. Okay. Sammy Soul. Remember this? You remember this? Look at that. Target tagged, square up tagged, right? Gosh, I don't know why it doesn't want to paint. Okay, so look at this. We had this 1618 golden mean ratio. We tagged it. We then painted the higher low, or the higher high, and we got the optimal entry. We sold off. We back tested the previous D as resistance, and then we fell and we hit the C target. Boom, tagged it. Okay, perfect setup. There was your divergence, bearish divergence, 3x on soul, target tagged, game over. XRP, Nothing's changed. Still at the entry. Hidden bullish divergence has been painted. XRP long is go. Pepe alert. Sound the alarm. Hidden bullish divergence at the entry. Not really the entry was down here, but we painted a second opportunity last stream basically. So you're still there. Yeah, you gave up a little bit of profit, but this is just giving you a second chance in. Same exact thing needs to occur. We need to get back above the previous, you know, B high here of the cipher, and eventually end up at the $1.66 to $1.69 take profit target area. Don't get greedy, because we're going to short it all the way back down and stop you out. Okay. XRP number go up. Tezzies, same thing. Look at that. Tagged the harmonic, sold off, target hit, game over. Boom. Okay. Comp, double bottom at the entry, still at the entry. Okay. Stop loss was not penetrated. Comp remains in accumulation zone. The gray box is traders, big money accumulation. This stop can be way more conservative. You do not have to be that tight. We were just fortunately that tight and weren't affected, but that was a little too tight, right? So entering a position here, you have all kinds of action. Okay, so you have the initial neckline area, right, which kind of gives you this C, right? But we'll go with the neckline first, and then for the second target, you could go up into the A area, because the first one's kind of accounting for the C. And then lastly, the D of the bearish bat in blue. Okay, go like this. So the first trade, not really equitable, just an area of interest. The second trade, 2-to-1 on your money nearly. But the third trade, you're getting over 4-to-1 on your money. Okay, so comp still looking pretty decent. Ethereum Classic, a little bit underwater here. Again, in this gray box of accumulation, nothing's really changed. And again, you are looking for basically these harmonics to hit, okay? To hit their targets again up on the top here, right? That's targets 1 and 2. But overall, if again I were a big range, right, or just a big range bound asset, and my target was the top side up here like this, you can see that that's just the range midpoint. So you don't always necessarily want to exit all of your position there, but you don't want to get greedy and leave money on the table. So you take profit at the first two, hoping to reclaim the midpoint, giving you target 3, right? That's kind of what you'd be looking for. And again, you don't have to getting profit here, getting some more here, and some more here. Like, you're never gonna go broke doing that. You don't need to buy the Pico bottom and sell the Pico top every time. That's just gonna drive you maddening, right? You just need to, you know, enter at strategic areas where you have an edge and exit when it's time to, you know, exit, or trail a stop at least at that point. Once you're well in profit, you could trail a stop in profit. That's much different than a stop, you know, not in profit, right? It's okay getting stopped out in profit every time. You don't get hurt, right? You won. YFI. And again, you don't have to worry about leaving anything on the table, because FOMO should be eliminated from your mind at this point, because you know that the market is going to provide you endless opportunities to get into another position, right? So don't worry about it. All right, for YFI, you need to reclaim this blue line, okay? Next, you then need to reclaim the orange line. And at that point, you can see this purple zone. So the blue line is 32,007, and the orange line is around 37.2. and then the purple zone is around 44k. All right, so still looking decent here on YFI. Okay, let's go over to dot. All right, look what happened. What happened? Jeez. We had an entry, we had to take profit, we sold off. Okay, did we leave some on the table here? Oh my gosh, right? Who cares? This was the entry, this was the sell. Whoops, this was the sell. So we're fine. If you can do this time and time again, you're trust me, you're not concerned with this. No one cares. All right, so far partial decline. If you want continuation, you need to regain this area. You have to regain that area if you want to see 72. Okay, got to get back above 48 and hold 48 as support. Almost 49, almost basically 50, right? 50, like you can see, really critical areas, right? So you've tested it once and now twice. So you figure when you get back up here again that you'll be able to break it and then back test it maybe, right? As support. Paint the hidden bearish divergence that we always talk about. Excuse me, you'd paint it here. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. This take profit target area is now gone. It's just now areas of resistance. Okay, it's no longer a take profit on a long, because if you were in a long here, you would not take profit there. You would be taking profit up here. Okay, so what we want to do is basically sweep the highs, right? You want to sweep the highs, and you know, once you sweep the highs, that's when you can run to new higher highs. Okay, German NEM. I don't know where the hell they make this. I think NEM might be Korean. Okay, look what happened, guys. We had this harmonic, we painted it X, A, B, C, D, and we said we didn't get our C. We did not get our C. Let's see what we got. 3. We needed at least 382, right? But we did get our D, which is interesting. Either way, it's still going to react the same as if we did get it. The wave analysis would play the same. So we're looking for this. Okay, you need to get back above 18 cents, and at that point your next area would be 20 cents, right? And then maybe you back test 20 cents and you run again, and that is where we finally will get our D. Oh, excuse me, that'll be something different. So yeah, this is what we're looking for. We need to get above 18 cents and then get above 20 cents. So 18 cents, 20 cents, and then that's how we could see higher prices. Okay, what we don't want to do here is this, right? We do not want to do that. And we're painting hidden bullish divergence still. Nothing's changed, just got larger. Okay, hidden bullish divergence on NEM at a critical support area. Okay, you can see, look back left right here from September 13th, from September the 8th, previous support, right? Previous support. It became resistance a little bit here, but mainly we've been holding it. It was resistance a little bit on the 23rd and on October 3rd, but for the most part, this area has been support, and now it is definitely being tested as support, right? So with the hidden bullish divergence, so if you can hold this, you'll be in good shape. Can you test this again? Sure, no problem, right? Same difference. Nothing is any different in either of those situations. Okay, DXDY, this sucker, man. So you ended up coming all the way back down here to this square up. Look at that. Came all the way to square up, but you engulfed on top of it and are now, you know, a nice double bottom right on it, right on that square up. So, you know, overall, this is still a long. Like, nothing has really changed here. Last time we checked it, we were probably in this area, so we kind of went up a little bit and then just came back down and double bottomed, right? So you're still right kind of where we left it, right? Let's look at the divergences. RSI looks much better than the MACD. The MACD doesn't look horrendous, but RSI looks actually really good. So you see how every time we're getting this RSI to do that, we get a nice reaction to the upside. So last time RSI did that, we got a nice pop and then another pop. So you got 25% pop last time the RSI did that. So hopefully at a minimum here, this gives you 25% pop, which it already did 20. See, so that's good sign there. Again, I wouldn't be so heavy in alts at all. You can have some alt positions, but you should be heavy in ETH, right? We already discussed that. We said ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin's going to outperform your alts. So why would you be heavy in the third leg of that phrase, right? You need to be heavy in the front end of that, which is ETH, right? So ETH is going to outperform your alts tremendously, okay? H bar. Looks like H bar is painting again a decent little higher low here, right? So yeah, H bar target still remains the same. Maybe you got a little harmonic action here on a cipher. Is this 786, 886? Yeah, a little shark action. So yeah, could be good to see a little pop on H bar. You need to reclaim 40 cents and then 43 cents if you want to see 54 cents, okay, on H bar. Dash, same thing, nothing really changed. We are still at the same entry we previously we're looking at here. Whoops. What the frick? Okay, there you go. That's how Dash would still look. Okay, stop below the D over here at least, which is the C of the bat you see in yellow. You know, on this one could be more conservative, right? On the higher target, you can have a much safer stop, which is 3 to 1, right? 3 to 1. This one, to get 3 to 1, you actually have to be tighter. See, so those are two different trades. When your target is tighter, your stop is tighter. When your target is higher, your stop can be wider. You can be 3 to 1 right here, right? You're giving yourself permission to have a wider stop because you have you're willing to risk a 44% drawdown on this to get 133% gain. Okay, 3 to 1 on your money. So again, you wouldn't want your entire portfolio to have a 44% drawdown, but if you had whatever, you know, $1,000 in it, you'd be down, you know, to like $566, but it wouldn't be over. And your target though could, you know, turn your $1,000 into $2,133, right? So you're willing to risk that $400 to get that, you know, that $1,133. Okay, 3 to 1 on your money. Ocean is doing exactly what we said everything else needs to do. Reclaim these supports, right? It's above both of them. Do you double again the stupid wicks, but the follow through engulfing and an even more follow through reclaim of this previous necklines, right? So tag that target. Yeah, remember we did tag targets on Ocean too, so we took profit on a lot of stuff, right? So it's good, always good, right? So likely square this up again, $1.20. You're gonna find yourself back up there. If you can hold this level, you're gonna find yourself right back at $1.20. VeChain. Okay, same thing. You got some critical horizontal line resistance overhead that you need to reclaim into support for continuation. And you see how this is not just a wick and back down. This is the follow through, right? This is the confirmations, the double bottoms, right? So yeah, that's what you need on VeChain. Again, a stop can probably still be down here at this point. Okay, 76, 75, 76 cents. You don't want to lose that on VeChain. Yeah, seems fine here. Hidden bullish divergence on both the RSI and the MACD. Where you painted a low on price and a slightly higher low on price, right? While painting lower levels of negative momentum and relative strength. Hidden bullish divergence. Send it. AXS. AXS. Nothing burger. Square up is all. Got to square up right here, right? Can you see that? Previous square up. Gosh, that's not the one I wanted. What are you doing? Right here. Square up was at $1.21 area and you fell right on it, held it as support, and you're now rallying. Looks like the only thing you're really doing here is you got like this down sloping trend line that you're attempting to breach, right? So maybe you breach it, maybe you run it back down a little bit, and then you end up back up here. Because again, you know, one could just fib this and find himself in the golden zone pretty commonly between the, you know, 382 and the 618, right? So that's exactly where that would put you. And if it gave you more, you would then be looking for the deep retrace. Okay. Something like this on AXS. Litecoin going to outperform ETH. I don't know about that one, Ninja. I would not take that bet, but I would agree with adding a Litecoin bag alongside your Ethereum bag. That I would approve of. But I don't know. It's a bold statement. Litecoin going to outperform ETH when ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin. Oof, I don't think Litecoin's that strong, sir. Rune. Look at that bullish Batley tagged. Nope. Again, we didn't get our dang C. So we got to invalidate that. Let's check the... What we did do is backtest that neckline, like, you know, really solidly. Look at that. Previous neckline, right, where it was once resistance on September 24th, resistance on October 5th, is now tested as support on November 18th. Is it possible that you get a double bottom here? Absolutely. Okay. But so far, looks decent. And again, look at that. You hit a bearish Batley. What happened? What happened? Wrecked, right? Absolutely wrecked. Bearish Batley into a 786 deep retrace. Wrecked. All right, so go back to ETH real quick. ETH attempting to, yeah, just let me draw this a little cleaner now that we have our idea. Let's zoom in 4 hour. Hidden our class A bullish divergence on the 4 hour. On both the RSI and the MACD at the critical support. Okay, perfect catalyst for a trade. And you're getting the reaction. So again, it's not as defined, but it looks like that's about the neckline there, which is around 42.60. So I mean, we'll take it if you hold that. Like if you can hold this, no problem. So it's very likely you're gonna butt into the bottom of that, okay? So if and when you approach this, and again, because it's a moving target, right? This could not touch till way up here, right? And then you get some reaction, or it could go up and touch right away, right? So those are very different. 4,800 from 5K 52 is very different. It's because the target moves as the target moves as duration happens, okay? So we just have to watch it, and those aren't even that's just back testing the channel, right? It's just something that could very likely occur, and if it does, it could cause a little sell-off, right? Partial decline again, and then you rally again, right? That's all I was mentioning by bringing that up, okay? Bitcoin 58.8. Look, you got above, okay? Very, very important that this is occurring, okay? Very important. Is it possible that you still do this? Yes, it's possible, but it would be much better to just do this, okay? So yeah, Bitcoin looking very nice here. Oh, you want to see IDEX real quick? Sure. Zoom out. Let's go to 3-day maybe. Daily. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, so IDEX. Whoops. IDEX. We basically, look, we never had the 786 here, okay? We had 764, and now we got the 786. Oh my god. So ring the bell. Alert. I added 15 grand to my IDEX position yesterday, and I'm gonna add 150 grand to my IDEX position on Monday. This is a bullish Gartley, like so freaking textbook. Oh my god. So you rarely get this 618 into these 786s. And on stupid crypto hates the Gartley, right? Crypto hates giving us the Gartley. Crypto gives us this Batley, and the Batley, which has the 618 on the B, but it gives you like 886 on the D, right? This is what would happen if IDEX was a crypto, okay? If IDEX was a crypto, your entry would be 129, but IDEX is not a crypto. It's a stonk. Sorry. Gosh, why is my back button just trash? I'm gonna have to repaint the whole crap out of that. Anyways, yeah, IDEX, we remain IDEX bulls, okay? Nothing has absolutely changed. Stop is below X, right? Stop is below X. You shouldn't be in leverage, and I don't trade options, so I don't recommend you in options ever. So you shouldn't be in an option that's expiring on you. Why don't we trade options? Because of this garbage duration sideways chop, right? Just theta decaying your options into oblivion. So, gosh, stop. So by the time price is actually ready to run, your options have expired, worthless, and you're out of capital for the trade, right? But if you were in a spot position like Duck is, you don't really care. Nothing's even happened, right? I don't even care about any of that. It is not non-concerning. All it's making me do is add to my position, okay? All it's making me do is add, okay? And what do we want to see for confirmation is this, right? Get back above this level, get out of the buy zone, and then start breaching other zones on your way to targets, okay? Do you know what kind of... Yeah. Right? That's what we're looking for. Okay, since we looked at it, let's take a look at end phase today because we painted another new all-time high. Okay, so here we are. Look at this, just absolute madness, maddening madness. Do you see what happened on this when it happened? Are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3, 4x bullish divergence, class A, with this downsloping wedge RSI breakout. We even put the RSI breakout on the caution, the alert. We then got above the 50% line, right? So here's the 50. We got above the 50, and then we got above the 60, and now we've got this breakout again that we're looking to, still come up in here into, this sold area, overbought area, excuse me, on the RSI. Sorry, let me zoom this in. So again, this is looking like it's gonna come and tag that dang target, and then, oh gosh, when it does, it's gonna suck. When it does, I'm moving all this into IDEX, by the way. Okay, so what might happen here is like tag it, double top, and then just devastation. Fill the gap, double bottom, slightly higher low, and then another high, right? So you get this back test of 200, right? Back test 200. Watch out for that, okay? That's why we take profits, right? Or we hedge. We can hedge, right? You can keep this long open, and you can hedge short, close the short anywhere in these zones, and you keep this long open for this target, right? Sorry. So yeah, that being said, end phase from entry is up 85% from the entry that said go all in, 3 harmonics, inverse head and shoulders, 4x bullish divergence on the MACD, tail end 3x bullish divergence on the RSI. Amazing. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Duck heading out for the Friday evening, so yeah, catch you guys a little bit later. Peace. Duck out.